Everything in our universe is fundamentally made up of subatomic particles, which are particles that cannot be broken down any further, like the electron. From the various experimentations which have been carried out, we now know that many of these subatomic particles do indeed have mass. However, have you ever wondered about where these particles get their mass from? To answer this question, let's take a deeper look at something called the Higgs field. Though we can't see it, the Higgs field is essentially an energy field which exists in every part of the universe. This everywhere permeating field is able to interact with subatomic particles, and through those interactions, this results in some particles having mass while others don't. But how does this actually work? In order to delve deeper into the explanation, we must first understand the concept of chirality and helicity. Subatomic particles such as electrons carry a spin relative to the axis of their direction of motion, and this can be classified as left-handed chirality or right-handed chirality, where the particles spin in the opposite direction. This chirality of particles is fixed for each type of particle and cannot be changed. On the other hand, helicity has roughly the same idea as chirality, with there being a left-handed helicity and right-handed helicity. However, helicity is the apparent or observed chirality, and a particle can change its helicity depending on the inertial frame of reference of the observer. But how? Imagine this analogy where you are the observer and the particle is the observed car. You are in a car moving at a constant velocity and you look out of the window. If another car outside is driving in the same direction at a higher velocity than you would view it as moving in a forward direction from your reference frame. However, if you were to travel at a higher velocity, you would see the car moving in a backwards direction as you travel further and further away from it. Though the car's direction relative to your reference frame changed, the car is still essentially moving forward in the same direction as before. Hence, the helicity has changed, though the chirality still remains the same. This results in the particle seemingly changing its direction of spin. In the case of particles like photons which travel at the universal speed limit, or more commonly the speed of light, since the observer of all reference frames cannot be traveling at or faster than the speed limit, the photon will always seem to be moving in a forward direction. Hence, its helicity never changes and is always the same as its chirality. To summarize, an electron can have a left-handed chirality or right-handed chirality. Left-handed chirality electrons can be further categorized into those with left-handed helicity and those with right-handed helicity. And this is the same case for right-handed chirality electrons. It is important to note that though particles may appear to be the same, they are not, as they still differ in chirality. So where does the Higgs field come into play? Using the example of electrons with left-handed chirality are treated differently from those with right-handed chirality by the Higgs field due to something called parity and uniformity violation, as there's a higher percentage of electrons with left-handed chirality. Electrons with left-handed chirality have an extra weak hypercharge on them in the Higgs field, while those with right-handed chirality do not. However, an electron can lose its weak hypercharge by simply transferring it to the Higgs field, to which the Higgs field gladly accepts. After an electron with left-handed chirality and left-handed helicity loses its weak hypercharge, its chirality is lost while its helicity is maintained, turning it into a particle with right-handed chirality and left-handed helicity. In return, the electron with right-handed chirality can turn back into one with left-handed chirality. Thus, this process carries on for an infinite period of time. It is a known fact that only particles traveling at the universal speed limit will be massless. Due to this interaction with the Higgs field, it slows the electron down, resulting in it being unable to travel at the universal speed limit, and thus it has mass. On the other hand, since photon cannot change its chirality and helicity, it is unable to interact with the Higgs field, hence it is massless. Now you know how mass comes about, I bet you won't take it for granted again.